Hey there, Greg with Boom Up Engineering on a fine Sunday afternoon in Tennessee. We're going to do a little tree climbing today. I've got a pecan. I want to do some limb weight reduction, kind of protect my service line a little bit. I'm a little bit sensitive to protecting my service line because I had a pecan tree right there where you see that dirt, bare dirt. I had to do some cleanup because that tree was draped over the service line, and on a wet, I guess a real wet morning, it just slowly tipped over. And we're going to take a look at this one here with the bird feeder. You can see I've been up in it already. I was actually up in it yesterday, but I decided I wasn't quite prepared just right to get on out to the end of this limb going up off to the left. It extends way out. Previously I'd been up in the tree and I snipped that limb off right there. Just because it's kind of spindly and stuck way out, and I'm just afraid they're going to break off and take down the service line. Fixing my service was about $1,300 and I don't want to go through that again. So we're going to get on up there. Now I decided I wasn't quite prepared yesterday. We're going to do a little bit better today. You can see my saw is still staged up there. I figured there was no reason to take it down. So what I've got, you can see this throw line here going up into the tree. I've got a climb line that's choked around the end of that limb that I want to cut off. My line was a little bit short, so I put the throw line on the end of there so I can pull that down when we're done. Now I'm going to use that line to pull myself over. I didn't know how else I would do it. You know, I'd like to hear some comments, but what I've got with my other climb line, you know, I've got a base tie here, and I shot a line up into the tree. You can see where my saw is. There's a notch right there, just to the left. Well, I had my line shot up into the notch just above the chainsaw there. That's really not high enough to be tied in there, and then you can't just swing over to the end of my branch there. So what I did, like I say, is I put a second line into the, choked around the end of this limb that I want to cut off, and I'll use my Rope Runner Pro on that line there, and I'll use my Unicender on the main climb line there. Now, what I wasn't really prepared for yesterday is that I'm like, man, I should really relocate my climb line to a union over that's also higher. And I didn't have all the hardware with me, or at least with what I felt comfortable to set up a redirect up there. So, and I decided I wasn't going to use my main climb line to redirect up there. I was just going to use the other end of this climb line to the left here. I was just going to use the other end and get that up there. So I eventually got it up there. I have to be honest, I wasn't real familiar with tying a running alpine butterfly, but I eventually figured it out. I see, since I'm recording this, I could use just a carabiner on there and choke against that branch that I'm around. But, ideally I've decided, I want a running bowline, or not a running bowline, a running alpine butterfly, so I don't have any side-loaded hardware in my video. At least not, maybe minimize how many that I do that with. But that was a good exercise, learning how to tie a running alpine butterfly. I tied one that wasn't running and knew that it was right, and then I just simulated it and figured it out until I had a running alpine butterfly. So it's actually good to learn how a knot is structured, not just so that you memorize all the motions to get the right knot, but understand what the knot looks like, so that you can better understand if you tied it right or not, or if you're in a weird orientation, you can still get it done. So I might do a video on that just to show how I came to learn that knot in just a few hours. Well, I did it in the tree, not in a few hours, but then later that evening I sat down in front of the computer, watched a few videos, and took some mental notes on how to do it easily and correct. So maybe I'll do a video on that. So we'll get the harness on, the Monkey Beaver 1.0. So I've been messing around with cameras a bit, trying to learn how to shoot a usable video that doesn't, you know, it's not all jittery and making people sick. I'm going to go up with a Insta360. Not that you know, they require a lot of post-processing, but we'll give it a go here. I just don't want to have like a standard like GoPro, or I've got a DJI Action 5 that I'm using now, but we're going to use this Insta360 because it allows you to take video and you don't miss any shots because it's taking a 360-degree view. The quality isn't as good, but it does allow you to catch a lot more and not have to worry about what's in frame and all that fun stuff. But yeah, you do have to post-process it. So this is kind of a learning experience, both in climbing and in using this equipment. I'm not necessarily thinking I'm going to have a bunch of tree climbing videos. This is just a way for me to practice. And my kids aren't here. My wife is 2.5 hours away. We took a job. I'm out of work here for the last couple weeks. I'm changing projects. I don't get to go where the family is just yet. I got to put in some licks. I might be out of the country for the next year or so, but I'll be back, and then hopefully we'll all be up around Oak Ridge, Tennessee, and maybe I'll get onto a big project there and live happily ever after. So let's get some gear on, switch over cameras, and see what we can do in this pecan tree. Be more prepared. I have a short rigging rope there and a rigging pulley with one of its what are those, wonder slings or whatever. I can pull that up if I need it. Chainsaw's already up there. I got a few more bits of hardware on the old harness here. We'll get hooked up. So I've got the Unicender ready to go. Carabiner. Oh, where is my carabiner? I guess we'll use this one. Had a Petzl carabiner on here. I don't know where that wandered off. Kind of like the Petzl carabiners. They're pretty grippy. If it's upside down like this, I less mind the gate locking, having to push up on that. Oh, whatever the gate's grippy, twisty thing is called. Cordage going here for the, looks like I got a surplus of carabiners here. I think I wanted to have an extra one on the harness, so I think that's why that showed up. Actually, it's kind of good to have a bigger carabiner on here. That way I can run the small one through the big one. Okay, jet step foot ascender, Unicender for the main show. Like I say, we got some goodies tied on there. We'll just kind of bushwhack through the branches there. Yeah, that's about it. Make sure this is still happy from yesterday. I lengthened my rope climb line since yesterday because I didn't have enough down here to do a redirect up there. Like I say, I ended up using the end of the other climb line to get set up, but nonetheless I should be in the habit of having more tail on the ground as long as it's not in the way. Yeah, I think that's about good. Need to get my foot loop set up since I don't have a Unicender on. I'll run this foot loop up to the Unicender. Now I could run this carabiner inside of that one, but I feel kind of weird putting all those points in there. So we'll see how this does. This is just some 2.2 millimeter Dyneema throw line. Give a big here, get up off the ground, not hit those rocks, tighten up the strap. Now I'm only going about 40 feet up, so it's not a big efficiency loss for not having a Unicender. And I do have an Unicender. I just need to, well, get in the habit of maybe using it if I decide it's worthwhile. I'll try to keep the heavy breathing to a minimum, but you know, I'm a big guy who's usually got more of a, you know, too much desk time at work, at least not any strenuous activity at work. Can't touch the tools or do much of anything. Usually on union jobs. Ugh. Try to get past these branches without tearing things up too much. Guess I should hook up my Rope Runner Pro. That'll help me stay away from these branches. I got it, might as well use it. Yeah, easier said than done. I don't know if it's good to prune some of this stuff off, if it matters that much to the health of the tree, or if, you know, they grow back quickly, you know, these droopy old branches and whatnot. Maybe somebody will let me know. Comment below if you got a moment. I'm gonna tighten up my foot strap a little bit. This is a Petzl Adjust. So if you're going to do a foot loop, this is one way to make it easy, because when you get up in the tree, you can just slack it and leave it in position. You know, you don't necessarily have to take it off or disconnect it. Just leave it connected, just slack it out, make it ineffective. But you have to raise your foot up to allow your ascender to go up, and you still have to walk, rope walk. Let's sit down and let's see where my rope runner is at. Okay. Here's my saw ominously pointing down at my face. Good times. Try to stand on the foot loop and have my toes against the tree. Try to keep from spinning around. I got a hand on this branch here, that'll help a lot. Feel free to laugh at me. You know, I'm not doing this all the time. Okay, we're close. Okay, foot engaged. Okay. Standing up, slack the foot loop. Get my ascender as high as I can so I can lean back into it. Probably can't see this, but I'm taking disconnecting my elastic tender. Hook that up back onto my harness. Okay. Tighten up my second climb line, or at least a little bit. Okay. And take a break. Fat guys, it's a lot of work for fat guys to climb. Okay, so there's my alpine butterfly, running alpine butterfly I'm so proud about, and lift the tail on it to make it retrievable. So I'm going to do this a lot when I take a top and then I'm coming down a spar, chunking out a tree. I'm going to use my climb line, not my flip line so much, but use my climb line to drop down however many feet, come to a stop, put my flip line on or whatever, and get ready to make the cut. Pull my climb line down and reposition it, so should work out pretty good. Hey, check out my nuts.
The next morning.
Back in the tree, got the Unicender changed to the secondary climb line here, so I'm off of the primary. I've got my Petzl Zillon lanyard off to this union here, and I'm still tied off to the branch in question with my Rope Runner Pro, just like yesterday. So I will pull myself out, attached. Okay, everything seems good. Slack out on my foot loop because I don't really need it. Okay, we're out on this branch, and this is where I start contemplating the meaning of life and if I'm doing what I need to be doing, or all that fun stuff. I think I'm going to have to be able to slack off of my Unicender at some point to get a little bit higher up on this limb. And the only problem with that is I'm not the best at doing that smoothly. It's provided me some stability here. When I put the weight on the limb goes down and keeps this kind of tight. I guess I can try to what? I don't know. Just want to be careful not to lose my balance, and not that that's the end of the world right now. I've got three lines to get where I need to be. See, that wind's blowing me around the tree around a little bit. might back out of this. Make sure my lanyard's not getting into something important. Okay, I'm pretty sure I want to notch it, so I got a clean break here. Definitely don't want it to peel and swing under. I think I can rest my forearm on here. About there. There. Okay, I got a notch out of it. Whew. Alright, I think we're going to send it. Wind has died down. Both of my back lines are tight. I'm going to cut a little bit below that notch. I don't want to get my saw drug with it. Oh good. Turn the saw off. Okay. We're okay. Get the saw to the back side at least. I'm gonna let it hang till I get situated here. Alright. Success. No service lines or pretend arborists harmed in the making of this video. Should be able to sit. This isn't really holding that well. This rope is only about 11 millimeter. We need to bring this with us. I guess I could take it off actually. Should be able to regulate the rope runner just fine without it. Let's go just a little bit. Okay, let's take it off. Get the rope out first. Okay. Yeah, this is I'm gonna lie, that was a little bit exciting. Perched out on that limb. Now I did make use of my spurs more than I thought I would need to, and you know, it is what it is. Otherwise I don't know what you do without a bucket truck, and I may have to get somebody up here to trim these trees down, get some weight off, so they don't have limbs on the house. Of course, it's a race between me doing that and getting the house sold. Okay. Okay, close. I don't really have anything else I'm going to do today. I mean, I could maybe take more off, but like say both of these trees need some attention, because ever so often a branch will peel off and sometimes it'll hit the house. Not the ultra big ones yet, but it's just a matter of time. And I like this about the Zillon. You can pull yourself and pull and push at the same time and get yourself moved pretty good. That pulley in there, making it nice and efficient. Okay, that might be the end of the road for a large bucket like me, so I can descend down. Let's do something with the saw. Trying out this notch lanyard. It attaches a little bit different, and actually I don't like the Husqvarna because the ring is horizontal, or whatever, however you want to say that. It's not going this way, and that rotates the saw the way I don't like it. When if you got a carabiner straight onto there, it's got the saw going into my leg, at least when I'm walking, or I'm standing fairly upright. So with this setup, it kind of gives me a 90-degree difference. So the saw a lot of times will be like that. So handle forward, and I can get the handle easier. And then maybe more importantly, you got some distance between your leg and the bar, I guess. I don't know. But yeah, this is good. Whew. I know when that was, I'll have to watch the video. I know when it was going, I kept cutting. I think there was a little bit of something wanting to pull the saw a little bit with it. I don't know. But I guess the thought was I definitely didn't want it to hinge and get some momentum to bring it under. But I think that would be hard with the notch, wouldn't it? So I guess that shouldn't have been a concern. But that's a good reason to record this. I guess a lot of this is me practicing how to like record videos, not just tree climbing, but whatever. Use these cameras and get meaningful videos. So this is again the Insta360, which after some processing last night, spending a few hours, I may be doing other stuff at the same time, watching something. But nonetheless, I spent a few hours just trying to frame the video. You have to show where in the 360 degrees you want your viewpoint to be. The 16:9 ratio or whatever it is, 9:16. You have to continually tell the camera where you want that to be. At least in this case, where you're moving all over the place, you're looking up and down, your head's bobbing all over the place, and so I don't see anything really to automatically have the camera look at the right stuff. Now, if you're riding a motorcycle along the road, a lot of times you're straight ahead, stuff like that. I think you can do some things, and then every once in a while you might pan side to side or whatever, do a 360. So that's definitely a lot easier. But with this stuff, shoot, you're constantly having to tweak things in the software and get your video right, and then you got to export it to a video format that your other processing software can edit, and then that might take a few hours, and yeah, it's something. So now this is compared to using like a DJI Action or a GoPro, where I found out that you can take good, fairly steady video if you use their ultra stabilization features. But when you do that, you lose field of view. Your view gets smaller and smaller. And now, if your camera is not pointed in the right direction, you're not going to catch everything. If I don't have it pointed enough down, when I put my head down, you're not going to be able to see what I'm doing down here. Or if I look up, you're not going to be able to see what's up above. And so you got to really pay attention to the direction of the camera, and you're most certainly going to miss stuff, and you're still going to have that that feeling that the camera's going all over the place, and you're going to get motion sickness. That's why you see like August Tunneke, he'll take the effort and put a camera up up above or something like that, so we can get a wider angle of view and a steady camera position to show him work. You could do that here, set up a camera there, and I'm working out there, and you might do okay, and then combine that with some a second camera. So this 360 is potentially a way to kind of get somewhere in between. You can cover all your bases, get all your shots, at least from the viewpoint of the whoever's got the camera on. It's not going to do everything, obviously. It's not going to get a shot, perspective shot from a long ways away. But then, like I say, you got to put a lot more effort into it by doing the post-processing. So, yeah, right now we're just kind of hanging out. This ain't bad. It took me about 15 minutes to get up here and get to the new climb, the other climb line and stuff. It doesn't take very long. This is just my house. I'm sure I've already said that. But I think that might be something that me and my two boys should consider, is getting a bucket truck. I'd really like to get them involved more with hands-on work and things. Like my oldest son, I don't think he's got the complete right mindset to be like an engineer. He likes to tinker on stuff like that, but he's really into planes. So I'm thinking more of, instead of like a aerospace engineer or something, the wife wants them to go to college and stuff, and I'm like, I've been to college, done all that, and I know a lot of people that have made more money and have better jobs and not had to travel so much, just with starting their own business and things. But with my older boy, I might help him get his commercial airplane license, and but until then, we can do some jobs, get them set up with maybe a bucket truck, and I'm thinking of getting a skid steer to work on my property, get them set up with maybe a brush mulcher and some tools that I could use on our property, and we could use do some jobs, pick up a dump trailer, just kind of get them going into something. They could do take down a few trees here and there, clear brush, whatever, do a little dirt work. I think that'd be good for all of us, because I got to be thinking about getting my property taken care of, get this place sold so I can build a shop and some things at the property and get us started better. Yep. Good times. Now let's get out of here. Alright. I can actually, I'll take the rope runner with me. I'll slack this a bit and keep it with me, and let's see, I still need to change climb line, so I'm going to have to, let's see, I need to be close enough to that so where I can disconnect. Do I need that handle? I might, just to make sure I can get up there and reach. Okay, imagine that'll be good. Let's see, we'll slack off the old uni. Just kind of stand here with whatchamadoodle supporting. Try not to, okay, put a foot on. There we go. Much better. Stable. 3-point stance. It's always a winner when it comes to the stability. Okay. Uni engaged. Yep, that's the right end of the climb line. Just base tied. Tighten up the foot loop. A little load on the uni for whatever reason. Slack the what's Zillon. Through the tree. Oh, come on. Okay. Uni is off. Now, does anybody know what should I be doing to get more friction out of this Unicender? Anything? Is there anything that people have ever done? I've got this Mumford drum on there, and I'm sure that actually reduces friction versus breaking over the sharp edges here. Probably same goes for the bottom, so I don't know what all is safe to do. I guess I should be running it through a carabiner, I guess. Let's get this off to the side. I should put a bigger ring on this saddle. Or put a ring on it. Yeah, I guess, if I had should be just running it through a carabiner. Some sort of wrap on it. I'll have to look and see what people usually do for something like that. It wouldn't be too inconvenient. I'll show you. There's a reason I've got gloves on. Let me slack my leg loop. Like I said, I gotta. Okay, we're coming down. You can see why I've got these gloves on, and a little bit tough on my hands. And kind of steer away from branches on the right using both of these Unicenders, but I can only go so far before I run out of rope on the rope runner. And that's about it right there. Okay. I remember some rocks down there. Okay, touchdown. All right, we'll get this processed up. See what kind of comments I can get. Yeah, it looks a little ugly, but what else should I do? You know, I don't want to take the trees all the way down. Most of this tree should probably go that way when it fails. Like I may have said before, shade is very valuable in the south. Pretty miserable when you don't have it. Okay. This is Greg with Boom Up Engineering signing out. Thanks for watching.